Hello, everyone. It's great to see you as always. We thank you for joining us today for our art-based meditation session brought to you by the National Museum of Asian Art. I'm Demi Mohammed, the museum's public programs assistant, and I'm excited to see you all as always. I would like to wish you a happy Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Today's meditation will be led by Aparna as we focus on oneness and inclusivity. Today's art piece is a Chinese ceremonial disc, otherwise known as a bee, spelled B-I, from the Eastern Han Dynasty. This bee is decorated with a feline and a dragon and was most likely a burial object. Discs like these, made from nephrite, which is a form of jade, are rare and usually found in royal tombs. I'm excited to see how we all observe the artwork and what our thoughts are on how the disc can relate to how we observe life. Again, we thank you for joining us, and I'll pass it to Aparna to get us started.
Thank you so much, Demi, for opening up our session today. And namaste to one and all. Thank you so much for being here and sharing with us your meditation journey inspired by this beautiful work of art in jade that we bring to you from the 180 to 280 period. And while we go through this practice, you might notice that you have a lot of questions, and we'll definitely try to address those after the meditation practice. And please do know that there is tons of resources on the museum website that we'd be happy to share links of after we practice the meditation. Now, this particular work of art is very interesting for our own practice in that it brings in this beautiful continuity from last week's practice, inspired by the songs from the Bardo. So if you remember, if you were a part of that practice, and if you remember, there was this mention of rising from earth to water to fire to air and then into space. Now, this circular symbol, this circle is a sign of the element of space in many of the traditions of yoga. And therefore, today's practice will focus on experiencing the qualities of the element that is represented by space. If you have any questions about the practice, please hold on them for a few moments. And once we're done with the practice, we'll go into all those questions. So if you're ready, please find a way to sit comfortably. A posture where your spine is upright is always ideal for meditation. So if you could maybe support your back with a pillow and just press your back against that. Relax your shoulders. Let your feet relax onto the floor or a rug. Let the feet settle down. Let's acknowledge and honor the element of space by taking up space. If you feel that unintentionally you're tensing up any part of the body, just let it go. Just allow the weight of the body to land onto all the supports underneath. And then gently allow your eyelids to close. If that doesn't feel quite meditative, you're also invited, maybe just lower your gaze. And if your eyes must remain open, try not to analyze what your eyes are seeing. And slowly, let's arrive into this practice with our attention, which, if it's present elsewhere, we'll simply acknowledge it. And then come back to notice our own body's presence where we are. We'll move our awareness through the body so we can intimately observe any sensations, any experience or bodily phenomena unfolding in our conscious awareness. Please bring your awareness to your hands. Notice the sensations. Notice the space, the shape of your hands, and closing a volume where these sensations could manifest and be experienced. Practice this art of knowing the hands, knowing the body through an awareness of internal sensations, as well as the position the hands take up in space. Then we'll bring the same art of attention now into the forearms, the elbows, the upper arms, the shoulders, the chest, upper back, the abdomen and the lower back, the hips, the seat, the thighs, knees, the shins and the calves, the ankles, feet, the neck and the head, the entire body all at once. The entire body, all of its sensations, and the space containing those sensations. Notice our body's presence through these sensations and the space taken up by the body in the context of the space we're in. We're here now. We're here now. We're here now. And then as we practice this moment of awareness together, notice the space that connects us all in an energetic sense. Breathing in, we're here now. Breathing out, we're together. Breathing in, we're here now. Breathing out, we're together. Let's reabsorb our awareness back to the body, back to our presence. And from this place, for deeper sense of embodiment, gently open our eyes, observe this work of art, this jade disc or bee. And for now, let's just come to it from a place of direct experience. Let's notice its shape. And the title of this object says it's a disc with feline and dragon. So let's, like a treasure hunt, look for the feline. And then let's look for the dragon. Notice how the curve is represented in so many different shapes and forms. Be it the shape of the circle, the knobs that dot all across the surface of this disc. The use of circles to create a sense of depth or relief. It seems like here that innermost circle is rising towards the viewer, and the outermost, the periphery, we find the circle to go away from us. You can also notice the curve represented through these shapes, which are supposed to be clouds. We can see that curve represented here in the neck of the feline. We find the dots. We also see a shape here that resembles a fish. And as we continue to trace these curves with our gaze, we find scale-like pattern that ends in a shape that has an eye and resembles a dragon. Perhaps all of this imagery makes us wonder what could be the symbolism behind the use of circle, feline, the dragon, and the clouds. We'll put all of these questions in the parking lot for a few moments. And now we'll seek some refuge in our own breathing. We'll breathe in a pattern that we could call as circular breathing. So what we'll do is, as we inhale, we're going to start at the base of the circle, go around in a clockwise fashion all the way to the top. And at the end of the inhale, when the exhale begins, we start tracing the remaining half of the circle, coming back to the start. So for each breath, we're finishing one circle. So let's practice that for about a minute in silence. And as we continue to do this circular breathing, let's place hands over the heart and feel the rise and fall of the chest as we complete each circular breath. And slowly, when you can also imagine this circular shape in your mind's eye. So you're sort of dissolving that space that separates you as the observer, as the practitioner, from this object as that which is being observed. Practice this breathing. Notice the space inside the chest becoming more and more fluid and dynamic, expanding and softening. Just like the fluidity of the curvy shapes on top of the disc. Notice the wavy movements in the chest through this expansion and relaxation. Notice the space element inside your lungs and chest taking on a very fluidic quality. And resting the hands down, notice wherever the body feels constricted, like there is a sense of tension, pressure. Can we imagine that with our attention, we're drawing this fluidic quality to that tense type space or spaces? Like we're guiding this energy of relaxation, element of space, creates spaciousness where there's unnecessary restriction. As we work on the insides of the body in this way, allow your exterior body to take up more and more space. Allow the arms and legs to fan out a little bit. Feel free to drop your head to a support behind if you need to. And then in that relaxed position of the body, we'll slowly go on to the realm of the mind, visualizing the mind like the sky, vast, expansive sky, where each thought is now a cloud. And just like no one cloud can define the entire sky, no one thought can define your entire mind space, no matter how large or persistent it is. In that realization, let's zoom into the space of the mind sky, anywhere between the clouds. Have a choice to focus on the clouds, a choice to focus on the sky, and let's choose the sky. The sky which allows us to attune to its infinity. And as your attention stays there longer, just feel that space becoming bigger and wider. Let's practice this in silence for about a minute. As we continue to hold our attention to this sky like space, because it is also the sky of nothingness, wherein infinity becomes potentiality. And further supporting that space, let's free ourselves of any wants just for the time being. Let this be a time where you need not think of any goals or strategies. Instead, just allow yourself, give yourself that permission to be. Something reaches out to you, let it be. Let there be no grasping. Let's practice this in silence for a minute. And when being here feels restful enough, we'll slowly funnel down our attention back from this expansive, infinite, sky-like mind, funneling it down to the body. Like we're now allowing our attention to descend down from the crown, the top of the head, the forehead, and the third eye, down the face and the head, down the neck, down the spine, into the heart space, from the heart space into the arms, into the abdomen, into the hips, into the legs, becoming aware of the body's physical presence where we are. Let's begin to deepen the breath. And can we check in to notice any shifts, particularly in terms of feeling spacious within the body or the mind? Wherever we might notice these space-like qualities, maybe this practice has helped us feel more spacious in terms of our intentions for the time to come. We may have received inspiration as we went into the space of silence in the mind. Bring all of these from those abstract realms of the mind to the physicality of the body in this moment. And when we're ready to carry this calm focus into the rest of this day, we close by joining palms in prayer, saying a silent thanks to ourselves for carving out this time to practice meditation and go inwards and hold space for what was. May we bow to the light within ourselves. May we bow to the light of all the teachings of yoga and the teachers through whom we received those teachings. And may we bow to the creative energy of the artist whose efforts gave us this beautiful object to inspire us in this inward journey. And finally, may we bow to each other, like we're saying, the light in me honors the light in you. Breathing in, we're here now. Breathing out, we're together.